Ja, het is vrijdag 31 mei en we zijn in Madrid bij de Bilderberg Meeting. Tenminste waar de Bilderberg Meeting wordt gehouden. En we zijn hier al een aantal dagen en naast mij staat 𝐷𝐷𝐿. Hij komt al jarenlang bij verschillende Bilderberg Meetings. En wij dachten van nou misschien goed om onze kijkers, de mensen die onze filmpjes kijken, toch wat meer informatie te geven ook. Dus nou hebben we met hem afgesproken om toch een interviewtje te doen. Ik heb gezegd dat ik even kort een Nederlandse introductie doe. En nou ja, dan gaan we wel kijken hoe dit gesprek loopt. Dus 𝐷𝐷𝐿, I told the people in Holland about your visiting the Bilderberg Meetings for several years. And that we thought it would be a nice idea to do an interview with you.
Cool.
So I would give the microphone to Peter and he's gonna ask you some questions.
Sure.
Or maybe you want to say something by yourself right now to the Dutch viewers or the people who watch this movie.
Yeah, sure. It's good to see everybody. I hope you're already well aware of Bilderberg, but if you are not, you're going to learn a lot about it right now.
Aha, well nice. We'll go for it.
Okay.
Then welcome for the interview. I have a question. What is the reason that you went to the Bilderberg meeting, and how many times you've been to the Bilderberg meeting? Can you explain that?
Sure. So the first time I went, the reason why I went was because it was actually, it came to Canada in 2006, and it was only a couple-hour drive away from me. So all of a sudden, I was already aware of this group, and all of a sudden I find out they're coming to my town, a 2-hour drive, so I'm like, I have to go there. And so that was my first time that I went somewhere, not really as an activist or a protester, but more as a journalist and a videographer to film the Bilderberg members. And that was in 2006, and that's when I realized this is what I want to do, with the rest of my life, essentially. And it was then that I created Press for Truth. Since then, I've been to, I think this is my 11th Bilderberg. So 2006, and then 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 11 of them now.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Then, what is your experience until now about the 17th Bilderberg meeting? What is your feeling about it? What do you see? You've been to the airport yesterday. Can you explain something about it?
Well, I think what's important to understand about the Bilderberg group is there's somewhat of an inner circle within the inner circle. And a lot of it is really kind of like a recruiting program where they're inviting people to get an understanding of who is going to play along with the agenda. Is this guy, do we want to bring him into the inner circle? Maybe this guy, maybe that guy. So not everybody who gets invited to Bilderberg is necessarily like aware of some nefarious agenda or even aware of the agenda for a new world order. It's only a small inner circle that is truly aware of the overall agenda. And that's what I kind of discovered over the years, that it's kind of like a recruiting program where they're trying to find the next politicians, military leaders, media leaders, heads of finance, and all these types of things. They are being selected at these meetings.
Ah, yeah, nice. When you look at the Dutch royal family, Prince Bernhard, who was a former Nazi, he was one of the founders of Bilderberg meetings. Can you tell me something about it? What is your experience?
I think the role of the Netherlands, that would be nice to talk about.
Yeah.
What's the role of the Netherlands at the Bilderberg meetings?
Well, the first time that I even noticed that they were involved was at the very first one that I went to, because it was Queen Beatrix. Is that pronounced?
Beatrix.
She was there, and I remember being there and somebody saying, "That's the Queen of the Netherlands." I was like, "Royalty is here? Like, really, a queen?" And it was like, yes, literally queens and royalty. And then, you start to learn a little bit more that it was actually founded by, like you said, the former Nazi, but very much a part of that group is coming from the same place. So, I think there is a big aspect to to the Netherlands being involved, and ever since probably 2006 at least, maybe sooner.
Yeah, I think maybe sooner.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I became first aware, like around 2006, that even Netherlands royalty is involved, and like this year you have the king. You know,
Alexander is here.
Right.
The grandson of Bernard.
I didn't even know that. Wow.
Yeah, he is. Because Bernard, Alexander, I have to say, that was my grandfather.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
it's like
all in the family.
All in the family.
Yeah. Wow.
What are the unusual things you recognized with this 70th anniversary Bilderberg meeting with the years before? Because we are here for the first time. We see a lot of police. Maybe you can tell something about it.
Well, you mentioned the airport, and yesterday we went to the airport, and for the very first time in my 18 years of covering this, have I never not gotten anything at the airport.
No content.
No content, and this is the first time. You know, usually the airport we get a lot of content, you know, and this time there was literally zero. So I don't know if maybe they changed the way they do things, maybe a little bit, to possibly make it more difficult for journalists to, you know, for them to be exposed to journalists. But I noticed that's changed. Maybe we just had bad luck, but I'm not sure. So that seems a little bit different. It is different from place to place. So far, the police here in Spain have been relatively nice, but that could change. You know, I've seen that kind of stuff change before. But yeah, so far so good here.
What was your worst experience during Bilderberg meetings? Where it was?
Oh man. I've been detained, I've been arrested, I've been thrown in jail, like in Denmark, in Copenhagen, 10 years ago, in 2014. I was in the hotel, and I saw the Bilderberg steering committee members sitting right there. So I decided to go up and start asking them some questions on film. The hotel security physically detained me and grabbed me and called the police. The police took me down to the Copenhagen jail. This all went out online, and somebody started on Twitter a hashtag free dicks. That's my last name. It's my last name, and it took off. So people started calling the Copenhagen Police Department, phone call after phone call after phone call, and the police were like, "Who is this guy?" So they let me out. You know, after maybe half an hour of people calling and calling and calling. Wow. But that was pretty bad, being arrested. In Germany, I couldn't walk more than 5 or 10 feet without the police stopping me and checking my ID.
Was this in Dresden?
Yes, yeah, I think, yeah, Dresden. They were stopping me every 5 minutes, and then I found out that they were instructed to do that. They were shown my face on a picture in a meeting. Yeah. And they said, if you see this guy, you stop him every time. So in about a 10-hour period, I was detained maybe 15 times. Wow. Yeah, one time they came into my hotel room, you know, pushed me up against a wall. They've done, yeah, it's
serious,
that was
serious shit.
Yeah, serious stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, you're exposing the Bilderbergers people. They're kind of leading the world. They are doing such good things, they tell us. Right. They are for transparency. Mm-hmm. I think it's kind of funny. Maybe people can see it in another movie because we haven't stand still a camera. But they put there all the coniferen plants.
Yeah.
When the visitors, the participants come over here and they get out of the cars, then there's a wall. How do you call it in English? A barrier, yeah. So that you can see them. And I heard you tell something about someone who is not on the list but is a visitor of the Bilderberg meeting.
Yes.
Why are they so? Is it a secret? Who are coming over there? What's your opinion about that?
Well, it's because of the foreign policy that is being discussed. Like, for example, last year it was Oscar Stenström, who was Sweden's chief negotiator for NATO, and he was there officially with the former Prime Minister of Sweden, and he was not on the list. But obviously now Sweden has joined NATO in March of this year. So clearly this was a part of the discussion. Now he's here again this year, and he is also not on the list. But this year it appears that he's acting in the capacity of working for the Bilderberg Group now, which may explain why he's not on the list. But this is why it's important to get that footage and to film those discrepancies. Because when you find out who is in there and who's not on the list, then you get a better idea of what they might be talking about, you know, for real. Because that agenda list, it's very, it's
wide.
Yeah, broad. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's very broad, wide, and so when you find out who's really in there and they're not on the list, then you know, hey, they're talking about this and this and this. So that's why it's important to be here to document it, try to film everybody, just to get those discrepancies.
You see also a lot of intelligence people. Can you tell us something about intelligence connection between Bilderberg?
Well, it's all connected. Like, you know, from the CIA to the you know, MI5. You know, like all the intelligence networks are certainly connected here. You've got a lot of the people on the steering committee, like I believe Peter Thiel, a lot of people say are connected to Israeli intelligence. So you've got Mossad, you've got British MI5, you've got, you know, US CIA. All of these people are highly involved, for sure. Yeah.
Do you have any questions more? Because the last question, then what would you say to the viewers of this content? Do you want to say something about Bilderberg? You are worried because you are here, you go for the truth. Do you want to say something to the viewers?
Yeah, we are here also with a message. We want to make people aware of what is happening.
Yeah.
So it's important that there are people who, what you say, filming, exposing. What would be a good message, and then we can exit the movie. Sorry for my English, but you understand what I say.
Yeah.
A good. What would you say for the last to the people who watch this?
Well, I would say if you're watching this and you're inspired by this coverage, and maybe you're sitting on the fence, you know, you're not sure. You say, can I really do this stuff? I would just say, yes, absolutely you can. And to just dive in head first and start trying to do it. When I started, I didn't know what I was doing. You know, I didn't know how to edit. I didn't know how to, you know, do interviews. I didn't know how to do anything. I just started to do it, and I learned all along the way. So I would just say, if you're on the fence, you're thinking, I would like to do something like that, just dive in and start doing it. You will figure it out as you go, you know, and it just takes that first step in, you know, you can only do so much research and learning so many things before you get to a point where you say, I have to get active now. I need to get, you know, out of the house and go out and start making a difference. And so, you know, it's simple. Nowadays, you know, even 20 years ago, to do this work, you would need millions of dollars. You would need like satellites and editing vans. Now, with the technology that we have in our fingertips right here, we can broadcast our message to millions of people instantly. So it's an interesting time where we have to use the ability that we have now with the technology that we have now to be able to raise awareness now before they take this ability away.
We need all the people, we need all the power, so we need to stay exposing this kinds of events, people. That's
and we need more people to come to the table. Everybody has something they can offer, something they can bring. Maybe you are, you know, creative in different ways. Maybe with music, or maybe with writing, or maybe with, you know, you can use your talents to expose this stuff to the world. You know, and it just takes a matter of starting to to give it a try. Just come to your first one. If you find out something like this is close to your town, go check it out. And I think you'll be happy that you did.
I think so too.
Thank you very much, Dan. We appreciate your time and keep continuing it. And we try to convince our viewers that you are here and we are here, and we must get stronger for the future.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you guys.
Nou, dat was een mooie afsluiting. Ik doe hem eventjes in het Nederlands. Hartstikke bedankt voor het kijken. Deel hem ook eventjes. What's your channel?
Pressfortruth.ca is my website. I made a documentary film about the Bilderberg Group. It's called The Turning Point. If you want to see that, it's on my website, pressfortruth.ca.
Nou, hartstikke goed. En Pieter en ik blijven publiceren op Nederland Wat is er gaande. De informatie staat ook op het Telegram kanaal. En ik denk dat we hem zo afsluiten.
Adios.
Hartstikke bedankt.
Uit Madrid.
Vanuit Madrid. Hoi!